Imagine going to a gym where everyone only lifts one type of weight. Let's say dumbbells. For every day and forever. No treadmill, no stretching, just dumbbells. They might look strong, but the moment they try to run, dance, or even pick up their school bag differently, disaster. That's what happens when we only train our brains to score in exams and never actually stretch to our understanding. So today, we ask a very important question. Are we truly learning or are we just studying to score? So, hi and good morning everyone. My name is Noor Farah Aqilah, and today I want to talk about, are we studying to learn or are we studying to just to score? So, let's move to my first point. Let's be honest. There's many students that prepare for exams like they prepare for karaoke night. They memorize the lyrics, sing out loud, and hope for the best. There's also many Malaysian students that spend more time doing past year's papers than actually understand the actual content is. So it's just like you memorizing the questions to a job interview, but you having no idea what the job actually is. So can you imagine a doctor saying, I only studied the question from the last year's surgery exam? That would be so embarrassing, right? So there's also a survey by the Malaysian Youth Council found that over 60% of students rely on last minute cramming. The student, they don't sleep, they don't eat properly, and they even forget everything in 3 hours after the exam. So that is not learning, but that is academic amnesia. And today, right now, I want to tell you a story that I know. So there's one Form 5 student who I knew scored straight A's in her exams, but when she joined university, she couldn't handle any presentation or any group discussion. She had mastered the exam format, but in real life, she had no skills at all. So in her words, I was a calculator in school, but now I need to be a speaker. I need to be a leader. I need to be a thinker also. And I'm stuck in my silent mode. And there's also a teacher once shared that she was told to focus on tips and not concept because parents want a good result. So she laughed and she said, I'm a teacher, not a TikTok fortune teller. The system rewards quick scores over deep knowledge, and everyone feels it. And ladies and gentlemen, for your information today, learning means understanding, applying, and reflecting. And these are the skills that matter in the real world. So, I'm going to give you one example. For the first example is Finland. Finland's less exams, more learning model. So Finland is a global education model that rarely tests their students through high-stakes exams, but instead they learn through projects, teamwork, and real-life application. And their result? They rank among the top countries for education quality, and their students are happy, and their students also not being haunted by trial papers. Some MRSMs and cluster schools now use projects to teach STEM. For example, students learn physics by building a mini water dam or a catapult. And suddenly, Newton's laws don't just live in textbooks, but they come alive. I also want to tell you guys something that in Malaysia, there's many students who fail English in class, but they can speak English fluently. And that thanks to Netflix, gaming, or social media. Why? Because they use the language and not just study it. So maybe instead of writing essays titled My Family, we should be debating real issues, discussing movies, or even analyzing lyrics from any English songs. So, there's also a boy in Kelantan didn't get top marks, but he fixed phones, managed online orders, and also he handled customer complaints for his family's kedai runcit. And today, he runs his own e-commerce store. And guess what? No one, no one ever asked him about his moral education grade. So, what's the verdict? What's the verdict, guys? If you study just to score, you're like someone who memorized a recipe but never learns how to cook without it. But if you study to understand, you can mix, you can match, and you even can open your own restaurant. Exams also may open you the door to opportunity, but understanding is what gets you through it. So, before I end my speech today, to every student out there, please, please don't just aim to pass, but aim to grow. Because in this real world, people won't care about how many A's you got, but they will care if you can solve problems, talk clearly, work in team, and maybe make a good nasi goreng. So, let's not be students who study like robots. Let's be learners who is curious, brave, and full of questions. And that's it from me today. Goodbye. Thank you.